Hi friends, welcome back. So today I'm sharing a first trimester update. If you're not pregnant, or you don't plan to be pregnant, or maybe you just don't like pregnancy-related videos, no worries, you can just skip this week and then come on back next week and we will return to our recipe videos. If you love all things pregnancy and motherhood, but you haven't checked out my podcast yet, Great Job Mama, I definitely recommend giving it a listen. You can listen on iTunes, Spotify, and also on our website, healthygrocerygirl.com. Every week I sit down and chat with moms and experts about just all things motherhood, from trying to conceive, pregnancy, birth, postpartum, and then everything motherhood related. So balancing creative passions, relationships, career, mom life, just all of that. It's like a good long chat with your BMF, your best mom friend. And it's just such a great podcast. I'm loving it. I love learning from you moms, and I'm just loving sharing this content with women. So if you want to check it out, like I said, it's on our website, healthygrocerygirl.com, iTunes and Spotify. I'll put a link below. And you can also stay connected with us on Instagram at Great Job Mama. So we found out that we were pregnant a few weeks after Ella's first birthday party. And some people have been asking us, was it a surprise? Was it planned? It was planned. We were trying, but it was a surprise for how quickly we found out. Many of you know, who have been a part of our journey, just watching our videos for a long time, that it took us 2 years to get pregnant with Ella. So we knew that we wanted to start trying again when we felt ready, maybe around Ella's first birthday, when I was feeling healthy enough in my body, like mentally, emotionally, physically, I felt really in a good place. We were also all sleeping through the night for many months, so feeling really rested. And also, because it took so long, the first time we were a little bit worried that maybe it would take a long time to get pregnant the second time. So as soon as we felt like ready, we wanted to start trying. We also always wanted kids close in age. Our motto basically was like, we're already in this baby diaper season, let's just keep rolling with it. Another factor is that we are moving 3 to 4 months after our baby arrives. And this is important because I didn't want to give birth within the same month that we were moving. I thought that would be too crazy, too hectic and stressful to just literally have a baby and then move. I wanted to have at least a couple months, either have the baby and then have a few months before we move, or move and then have the baby a few months later. But I also was really hoping that, and I thought it'd be so amazing if we could have the baby in our current town, because we have such a good support system here. And you know, when you move to a new town, you don't have those supportive people that live just right close by you. Of course, you keep your friends when you move, but the people that can maybe just come over and help or bring a meal. And we didn't really have that with Ella because all our family lives out of town, and we were kind of new to the area we're living in now when we had Ella, so we honestly didn't really have a lot of friends that lived close by, and I just felt like postpartum was this time where I felt really alone. So this baby, I was thinking, how amazing would it be to be able to actually have support, like people who could maybe bring us a meal, and hopefully, I don't know, maybe I just have high expectations of my friends, but hopefully one person will bring us a meal, and have the same birth team that we worked with before, and just kind of repeat everything. Like we wouldn't have to move and then find like a whole new system. So that was kind of like my dream, but I knew that that was too lofty of a dream because, like I said, it took a long time for us to get pregnant with Ella, and I didn't think that it would be possible for us to get pregnant within 1, 2, 3 months of trying. So a few weeks after Ella's first birthday party, we had this kind of week where Ella was just kind of not in her best mood, off a little bit, not nursing so well, seemed frustrated with nursing, and that was the first month that we had started trying for a baby. And I thought, I was about like a couple days away from my period, and I was thinking, well, like maybe I'm pregnant. I mean, we just started trying. It's very unlikely that we're pregnant, but maybe we are. And I have heard that sometimes when you get pregnant, your milk supply can drop or can change, and maybe that was frustrating her, so she wasn't nursing as well because my milk supply changed, possibly because I was pregnant. So it was literally a day before I was expecting my period to come. I just put Ella down for a nap, and I thought, let me just take a pregnancy test just to see. So I went in the bathroom, took the pregnancy test, 2 lines. I was like, oh my gosh, what? Like, what? That was what I was thinking. I went and got Aaron. I didn't even say anything. I just said, hey, can you come here for a minute? And he came with me into the bathroom. I don't know what he was thinking, but he came with me into the bathroom, and I just like pointed to the pregnancy test, and I was like, oh my gosh. And he was like, oh my gosh. And we hugged, and I immediately felt like I was gonna throw up. Like, as soon as I told Aaron, the nausea was like there, because I think I was just overcome by like the emotion and the excitement of it, but also just like, I can't believe it. Like, okay, 2 years of trying, 1 month of trying, so different. And I've heard that this can happen to women where the first round, it can be hard for them to get pregnant, but then they get pregnant really easy the second time around, or that can flip-flop, and maybe they get pregnant easily the first time, but then they have secondary infertility and it takes longer the second time. I mean, every woman's body, every pregnancy is so different. There's so much out of our control, but I am just so grateful. I'm so grateful because to me it just seemed impossible that we would get pregnant that early, and I just feel like that's so rare. I know that that's not common. As someone who has had my infertility struggle, I know how that's so not common. So I'm very, very grateful that we are pregnant and that we got pregnant the first month of trying this time. So I was still nursing Ella when I found out that I was pregnant. Motherhood. Expectation versus reality. I would say I never expected to get pregnant while I was still breastfeeding, and I never expected to continue to breastfeed while I was pregnant. It's not that I never even thought about it, but I definitely didn't like it. That wasn't like a goal or something that I expected. You know, you just kind of think that maybe there'll be more space, or I don't know, maybe I didn't even really think about it. However, when it happened, you do have to think about it. You're like, okay, so how's this gonna work? Because especially in the first trimester, so it's so taxing on your body, and I felt so tired and miserable. And then, you know, you're growing this baby, and then another, you know, your child wants milk, and it's a lot. So Ella was already really showing signs of weaning and cutting out feeds, even at the 1 year mark. And I was constantly like wanting to feed, thinking like, you need more milk. Like that's such a mom thing to be like, are you getting enough to eat? I was always worried about that. But she really could go longer stretches. Like, she was totally fine. So I knew that we could easily cut out like 1-2 feeds a day, and she wouldn't even probably care or notice. And she didn't. She was totally fine playing. She loves the Ripple pea protein milk. That's what we do because it has calcium and protein and DHA, healthy fats for baby. So that's what she drinks and loves, and just, you know, she eats food, so she's getting a lot of her nutrients from that. So basically at the year mark, or we found out we were pregnant a few weeks after the year mark, but once we found out we were pregnant, I had to start thinking about like, okay, how long are we going to continue to breastfeed for? So I didn't want to refuse breastfeeding from her if she wanted it, but I also wanted to try to cut back the feeds and slowly phase it out. It's getting really cloudy and moody, so if the light's changing, that's what's going on. The sun's popping in and out behind the clouds. I wanted to slowly phase out the feeds. So basically we went from about 6 feeds a day and pumping before bed, because by the time I put her to bed and then we went to bed, I just like to pump, and it just helped me go to bed feeling empty. That's just what I personally liked. Down to slowly down over a couple months just to 1 morning feed, and then there was just a week where she just wasn't into it anymore. Like, I would offer, we always would side lie and nurse in bed and in the morning, and like I would get her from her nursery and bring her into bed with me, and then she just was more curious in the ceiling fan and like wanted to roll over and get off the bed. I'd say, do you want to go have breakfast? And she'd say yes. She goes, yes, I do. So she'd want to go have her breakfast. And for a whole week, I kept offering it to her because I was like, well, maybe today's just not the day. Maybe she wants it tomorrow. But then I just really started to feel like, I think my milk is drying up. And because one time she tried latching on and then she popped off and she was like, like, what's going on here? So she was ready to be done, and I think I was ready to be done, but I don't know if I was emotionally ready to be done. I think physically I was, but emotionally I haven't really processed it, and I feel like I'm gonna start crying, and this is the first time I've actually started thinking about it. Oh gosh. I feel like I've been in denial. I haven't wanted to process my emotions about this yet, because it's really sad. it's really bittersweet because we go on this whole long journey together, and nursing is so, it's such a commitment, and it's such an emotional and physical and mental commitment, and you give so much. Like when, as a mom, like, you know, no matter how your breastfeeding journey goes or your feeding journey goes, just to, like, let's just talk about motherhood in general. Like, you give so much to your child. Like, when you don't have anything else to give or feel like you do, you just find it in you to give more, and you take care of these little ones when you really wish someone could be like taking care of you. And it's such an emotional thing. And we stopped nursing about a week before, like a week shy of her turning 15 months. And we're done. Like, we're all done breastfeeding. And I've been saying we've been like weaning, and I haven't really said we're done until I sat down to film this video. So I'm a little emotional about it. It's just, I don't know, you know, they grow up really fast. Pull myself together here. I think it's a combination of pregnancy hormones and also just thinking about, you know, all that we've gone through with Ella. And so anyways, what else can we talk about? Let's move on to something else. So the first trimester was really rough. I would say this first trimester was harder on my body than when I was pregnant with Ella. And I would say the biggest difference is just the lack of rest, because when you go from no kids to then having kids, the pie puzzle of how much time you have for yourself keeps getting like smaller and smaller. And when I didn't have any kids, if I needed to rest, I could, and no one other than my husband like needed me. But then when you have a 15-month-old, a 15-month-old needs you quite a lot. So I am not resting as much as I would love to. I get most of my work done when Ella is napping. So although nap time would be a great time for me also to take a nap, and I would say maybe once or twice a week I'll lay down. I usually don't fall asleep, but I'll like lay down on the couch and just kind of try to relax when she's napping. But most of the time, that's my time to power through work. And then when she's awake, we're hanging out, making meals, playing, going on walks, all those things that you do as a mom. I was pretty much nauseous all day, every day for maybe 13, 14 weeks. Like, I didn't keep a journal, a nausea journal, but pretty much, like I said, from the moment I found out I was pregnant until we kind of moved into the second trimester, every day, all day long, I was nauseous. It would be worse in the morning and also in the evening, but it would be like basically at any moment all day long, I felt like I was gonna throw up, which is not a fun feeling. And then of course, if you've been pregnant, you know how strong food aversions and food preferences can be. And if something sounds good to you, like one evening, the only thing that sounded good was French fries. And I was like, that's a silly dinner, but that's honestly the only thing that sounds good. And if you are having a hard time keeping food down and pretty much everything makes you want to gag, you'll just eat anything at that point, just to eat something that'll stay in your stomach. I am grateful that I'm feeling better now that I'm in my second trimester. And funny enough, this pregnancy, I feel like I'm craving a lot more healthier foods, a lot of fresh foods, fruits and veggies, and basically like big yummy salads. And when I was pregnant with Ella, like if Aaron even said the word broccoli, I was like, oh my gosh, please stop. Don't even say that word. Like, please stop talking about broccoli because I think I'm going to throw up. Like, just talking about it, it's like, oh, that's so gross. But now that's what I want this pregnancy, is lots of yummy, healthy foods. So we'll see how long that lasts. Hopefully I'm craving fruits and veggies for a good part of my pregnancy. But you know how pregnancy goes is you can have a food preference that lasts a day, a week, a month, and then you move on to something else. Exercise. So I have been exercising a lot more and earlier on than the first time I was pregnant with Ella. I would say that when I was pregnant with Ella, probably the entire first trimester, I had a lot of anxiety. I think that stemmed from the fact that it took us so long to get pregnant that when we finally became pregnant, I was so terrified that I almost like didn't want to move. Like, I felt really nervous to exercise or do anything. And I did start doing prenatal yoga in the beginning of my second trimester all the way up until I gave birth. I even was going to prenatal yoga when I was overdue. Loved it. And what's also great about that is I learned a lot of really good sequences and poses that now, being pregnant again, I can implement and do at home. And I feel confident in them because I know that they're safe and that they're good for me when I'm pregnant, because they're the same exercises that I did in the prenatal class before. Basically, what my exercise routine looks like right now is I try to go on a walk. Ella and I go on a walk, or we go on a walk as a family once a day. Usually the walk is about 2 miles. Sometimes it's a mile. If it's like the end of the day and I'm really tired, we'll do like a shorter route. But walking every day. We have an elliptical at home, and I will get on the elliptical maybe twice a week, and then also do like some free arm weights. I try to do squats almost every day. And what else am I doing? Yoga. I was just talking about yoga. Yoga. I probably do yoga like 5 times a week, but everything that I do is, I would say, like small amounts, but consistently. I'm not exercising for an hour plus at a time and really pushing myself. When I go on a walk is maybe up to an hour, but when I'm doing an at-home workout, it's probably like 20 to 30 minutes. And I'm just really listening to my body. And I think that's the most important thing when you're exercising and when you're pregnant, is you can continue to do what you did before you were pregnant, but go easy and go slow and listen to your body. Like when we're pregnant, we're not incapable of exercising. We're very strong and capable of continuing to exercise, but you just want to listen to your body. Okay, prepping for a baby. I already want to nest. I already feel that nesting feeling. I want to get the boxes down of Ella's clothes from when she was a newborn. We pack away all the clothes, and I want to pull them all out and look at them and be like, oh, so small, and start organizing things for the baby. And the baby will sleep in our room for many months, just like Ella did. But we have a 3-bedroom house right now, and one of the bedrooms the third bedroom is our office, and then the other 2 bedrooms are our room and then Ella's nursery. So we don't really have an extra room for the baby in this house, but that's totally fine because the baby will just sleep in our room to start. But what I want to do differently is, beyond just having a bassinet in our room, I also want to create more of like a nursery nook and put a rocking chair in there and like a changing table, so that if Ella, let's say, is down for a nap, but I need to rock the baby or change the baby, that I have a space to do that, and I don't want them to share the nursery space to start in case, they need certain things at different times, like their schedules aren't lining up. I don't know, if you have 2 kids, I would love your advice, like how that works for you. I don't know, I just love your advice if you have 2 kids. As you can see, I'm trying to think, like, how is this all gonna work? So, but my plan is to have a nursery nook in our bedroom with all the things we need for the baby, so that they can be separated, and that anything the baby needs, we have it in our bedroom. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to plan the nursery nook, try to keep it super simple because we will be moving, like I said, like 4 months after the baby is born. But I love the nesting stage and just getting things ready for the baby. And it just really, like, I know the baby doesn't care, especially now having Ella. I know how little you need for a baby. They literally just need you and to be fed and to be loved and to have their diaper changed and to sleep, like super simple. But it is just part of the whole like journey and experience, and I'm just really excited. So I'll probably be sharing more of the nesting and the nursery and all of that with you guys if you're interested. If you are, let me know in the comments below. And if you guys had like a house that you made like a nursery, maybe nook in your bedroom, also if you have any tips or ideas, I'd love to know in the comments below. So that's today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. There could be more things that I should share in this video that I can't think of off the top of my head. So you're welcome to ask me questions. I'll be doing a second trimester update months from now and sharing how things have progressed since then. We will be finding out the gender, which I'm really excited about, and we'll be sharing more about that. Make sure you stay connected with me on Instagram at Healthy Grocery Girl and also at Great Job Mama for more motherhood fun behind the scenes. And honestly, I am so grateful grateful for you and for the mom community and friendships that I've made here on YouTube and on Instagram and just online. It's absolutely crazy that we can just create friendships all over the world thanks to the internet. So I am very grateful. I learn from you guys. You share so many great tips and resources. And most importantly, like, we, all women and all moms, should just be supporting each other. No matter what choices we make or paths we take, I mean, those things don't matter. I think all moms are just doing what they feel is best for their own self and their family and their baby, and that's what matters most. And I just think we should be supporting each other. And I know that so many of you have been supportive of me. I hope that I can be supportive of you through any stage of motherhood that you're going through and that you're in, and I'm just emotional and full of love. So I'm gonna wrap this video up. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.